Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's well. Hope everybody had a good week and a good weekend. You know, you need your rest before the new week. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video and obviously subscribe to the channel and like the video. Um, let's get it up to at least 3 likes. I think the most we've gotten on this channel was 2. So 3 likes will be great. And yeah, subscribe and post this video on your social media. Um, get the channel out there, help the community grow. We can all grow together. Anyway, so let me first speak about this a bit. Obviously, been posting. This is my 4th video now, and when I when I was trying to come up with the name of the video, I don't know. Sorry guys, man. I don't know. Like, I just feel like the camera's not centered. Anyway, when I was trying to think of a name for the channel, I came up with. Obviously, I came up with United by Juno. I go as Juno. I'm still like hot and cold on that name, and the only reason why I'm hot and cold on that name is due to the fact that I want this channel to be bigger than just me, you know. I want it to be one of the biggest channels outside Europe. Obviously, talking about European football, European football is like it's the well, the English game is the biggest game in the world, the biggest league in the world. But I mean, sorry guys, European football on a whole is like huge. Like, I know I don't really watch the other leagues. I don't really watch Serie A and La Liga, but I know people that do watch it. So like, European's a big league, especially for people who don't live in those countries, who don't live in England, Spain, who don't live in Italy. European football is just huge, and obviously the Champions League adds to that. And yeah, so I want this channel to be. Oh, I'll push and I'll work with the channel to be the biggest outside of Europe. But yeah, so that's why I'm hot and cold on the name, because I I feel like it needs to be more than just me to grow this channel, you know. But anyway, it's just a bit of history on the channel. Don't forget to like this video. I don't know if I say that already. I'll probably say it again. I'll obviously say it again before the end of the video. But anyway, so this is the first video of its kind. It's called, for now, it's called Weekly Report. And in this video, we're going to discuss basically all the news of the week. Everything that's come out. And this was quite a busy week. Even though there was no club football, it was a busy week. And there's an agenda for today's channel. There's an agenda, and the agenda is obviously Ole Gunner Solskjaer's new contract. And then I want to discuss. Obviously, there's about 9 games left in the season, and transfer talk is starting to pick up. So I'm going to talk about people we linked with, who I think should go, what the team needs. Whether the board can do any of this is it's up for debate. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. This might be a very disappointing summer, and it's gonna leave Oli in a difficult position. He's second in the league. Hopefully, he can finish second in the league, and obviously, the Europa League is still up for grabs. It's a pity he got knocked out of the FA Cup. I mean, he could have stopped Manchester City from winning a treble. Apparently, they're on their way to a quadruple, and that'll be a sad season. That must happen, but we can just hope now. And then I also want to discuss the Nicky Butt, he left. Um, and this was due to Darren Fletcher and what's that other guy's name? Apologies for this. Darren Fletcher. Um, what? Yeah. How do you even say John? I'm not. What? Mur Murtaf? Oh, let's just call him John for now. So, John is the new. Well, this isn't like new news, but I feel like this is news from last week. So, John is the new football director, obviously, and Darren Fletcher is the technical director. Technical director. Yeah, so Darren Fletcher has been promoted to technical director, and obviously this has affected Nicky Butt. And yeah, I'll have a bit of a discussion on that. But let's get into Ole Gunner Solskjaer and my thoughts. And obviously, you guys can comment down below. I'd really appreciate that to get your thoughts, and we can have some conversations going. I'll either speak about it in my next video if there's a good comment, or I'll reply in the comments. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a new deal, as most of you probably already know, which is worth £30 million, which is a 2.5 million increase from his current contract. Obviously, he hasn't signed it yet. He himself has said there's still a few stuff that needs to be ironed out, but that contract, it's there. It's sorted already. There's nothing that needs to be sorted out. Basically, I'd say the only thing that needs to be sorted out is the fact that he needs to sign the contract, and obviously the club has just withheld that final signatures until the end of the season. But I don't know. I don't know if they done this for the players or if it's just bad management from the club, because the last time Oli signed his permanent contract, everything went to shit. He went on a bad run. It was looking like a bad decision. There's obviously lots of people out there that still thinks it was not the right decision. Me personally, I back Oli. I'm a Oli inner. Not everything's great, but he's come in. I think he's improved stuff. Like under Jose, the club was so toxic, and the football's not great either, but it's better than under Jose. And obviously, I've been brainwashed by the fucking Glazers, because obviously they bring the standards of the club down, and I'm hoping, well, Ollie's a great, I'm hoping that he will turn that around, and I'm willing to give him 2 more seasons. Hopefully he can get in what he needs. I'm willing to have that patience and wait in these 2 more seasons, me personally, and hopefully he can get in the players that he needs to play the football that he needs to also win the trophies. Well, I don't know if he's going to win the league, but he really needs to start winning trophies. He really needs to start. And I think the Europa League will be a good start. People's obviously not happy because he got kicked out of the Champions League, but if he was in the Champions League, he wouldn't have made it to the final. So it's fine. I think I'm long over that, but He's in the Europa League, and we're the favourites at the moment. And the team is capable. I believe the team is capable. And yeah, but as I said, I'm willing to give him these 2 more years. Well, it's a 3-year contract, but I think 2 more years because the last year doesn't count. And if stuff doesn't improve, especially on the field with that midfield situation, with Max Source, I'm gonna be an Ollie outer, and a lot of people will be an Ollie outer much sooner. But if next season doesn't improve, it's gonna be so difficult for me to be an Ollie in. But I'm gonna try and be patient for this next 2 seasons, and if stuff doesn't improve, I really hope the club don't give him a new contract. I think it's gonna be toxic. It's gonna get toxic. Trust me, it's gonna get toxic, and he just needs to look at the team. Um, he definitely needs to improve the football, and he definitely needs to give it a bit more of a go against the bigger teams, because we got thrashed by Tottenham, and we haven't really scored against the bigger teams. Obviously, I think it was the FA Cup, Liverpool, we beat them 3-2, but in the league it hasn't been good enough. And if you want to, well, he's second, and the United fans are complaining, and other fans don't get it, but we have high standards, obviously. We're Manchester United, we have high standards, and he just needs to improve. He really needs to improve that team, especially that midfield. Who would have thought the midfield would have been an issue? The main reason the midfield's an issue is because Pogba has been injured twice now this season. Beginning of the season, he wasn't, well, he had corona, and now he's injured. Or he was injured, he just came back. And the other thing is Matic is nowhere near where he needs to be. So if Pogba stays and he can keep him fit, and you bring in a CDM, it will make all the difference. Last season we were a better team actually than we are this season. Even though we have more points, and we're second on the log. Last season we were a better team, we played better football, and Matic and Pogba are a big piece of that puzzle. If you look at the team last season, at the end of the season, everybody was just saying, we need a right winger. And everyone, the fans, and Oli himself and the club was obviously also saying the same thing. And we're going for Sancho, and the board let us down. And this season, we need more than one player. We need more than one player. But not only do we need more than one player, we need to get people out of the club. And this board isn't competent. I'm going to be honest, this board isn't competent. But hopefully with the new structure, things will be smoother. And hopefully Ed Wood's not too involved like he has been. Yeah, so I think I'll give Oli this next two seasons, but next season, if it's the same as this season, it's gonna push me so close to the edge, and depending on how it goes, I might go over the edge. But for now, I'm only inner, and for now, I'm willing to give him the 2 seasons as long. I need to say this, as long as he's improving, and I can see the improvement, and not just the problems with Oli is his substitutions that needs to improve, and the tactics. We can't just be a counter-attacking football team, especially against a low block. He needs to work out the tactics for the low block. The big teams I can understand, but the smaller teams, he needs to work better tactics to always beat those teams. And he needs to be a bit braver. Against the smaller teams, he needs to be braver. And I think that is what yeah, that's what I'm gonna decide on, saying that he needs to be braver. And against the bigger teams, he also needs. Actually, Ollie just needs to be braver all around. Like, I can understand the way he plays against the bigger teams, but he just needs to be a bit braver. And especially against the smaller teams, he definitely needs to be braver, because he definitely needs to beat all of them. You can't be losing to the bottom team in the league. It's just not on. He needs to be winning all those games, and he needs to be beating them convincingly. And if he can do that, I can deal with the bigger teams, but the smaller teams, he needs to be beating them convincingly, each and every single one of them. He needs to be braver, and for me, that will be improvement in terms of tactics. The smaller teams, he needs this low block. He has too much issues, and he needs to resolve that. And that issues comes from McFred. They play. There's games where my cat's waking up. There's games where, hey Apple. There's games where, wait. I'm busy. There's games where he plays the same tactics that he does against the bigger teams, even though we have the ball all the time. And the tactics I'm talking about is McFred sitting, and not pushing up. And against a low block, it's so easy to see because we have all the ball, and you can see them sit there. Apple, I'm busy. She doesn't listen. Sorry guys, she's gonna disturb us all the time. Are you gonna go sit there? Okay, chill. She's gonna go chill somewhere else along. What was it saying? Yeah, he just needs that. McFred he needs to get that right. Yeah, so I'll give him 2 years, and hopefully he doesn't push me over the edge before the 2 years is up. And after the 2 years, we'll obviously see, but he can't come to that 2 years with the same tactics, still not having won a trophy, out of Champions League. There needs to be progression, and I think all Alieners feel the same way. And the next, yeah, so I touched a bit on John and Darren Fletcher, and obviously this leads into Nicky Butt leaving the club. I think Nicky Butt has been a big loss. He's been at the club for years. Longer than any other ex-player. He's been there longer than Carrick. He's been there obviously longer than Ollie. Who else is there? Fletcher just started like yesterday. Fletcher started like a couple of months back. And Nicky Butt has been there, and I can understand him leaving the club. And the position he would have wanted is the position that was given to Darren Fletcher. And I just think Nicky Butt is a loss. The fact that they couldn't give him a better opportunity at the club. Obviously, he's ambitious. He's an ex-Manchester United player. He's older than Fletcher. He's been doing this longer than Fletcher. And I don't know what happened, but I think he's a big loss. I think he's a huge loss. Especially, obviously, Fletcher knows. Fletcher and Ollie, they all want to replicate what Sir Alex had done. And I think Nicky Butt could have been a part of that. And it's just sad to see him go. And he was a youth coach, and yeah, it's just sad. Well, we might not see it, and hopefully we don't. But I think Nicky Butt's a big loss, and I don't actually have much more to say on that. Just that he should have actually gotten the position that Fletcher got. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully Fletcher knows what he's doing. Maybe there was interviews, and obviously we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and maybe Nicky Butt just wasn't cutting it. And they just trying something new in Darren Fletcher, who's been here for a couple of months. and maybe they just saw more potential in Fletcher, or maybe it was just bad management from the board again. We'll never know, because our club is obviously run like a business and not like a football club, and that is the biggest problem. And I think us as fans always need to realize that. But we shouldn't settle, and this board is trying to make us settle, and we shouldn't settle for that. We shouldn't. Okay, I'm back. My phone. Well, I shoot these videos from my phone, and I think my phone could only take 20 minutes. So I don't know if it's one of my settings or anything, but I was speaking for 20 minutes, and yeah, so the camera just like, I don't know, shut down. But anyway, I'm back, and so what I was talking about was Nicky Butt, and just what a great loss he's gonna be. And I'm sure if they had to give him the job over Fletcher, Fletcher wouldn't have been upset, because he's basically like just got here. He just got the job, I think 2 or 3 months ago, or even less. And Nicky Butt has been at the club for years, and numerous first team managers, and obviously we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe he was starting to push back against the board, and that's why they let him go, but we'll never know. Maybe one day we'll find out, hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, so obviously the last topic I want, oh, it's 2 topics. So it's basically about the transfers and who needs to leave, and what the team needs. And first I wanna go through the team just quickly, and just give my comment on everyone, and who I think needs to remain at the club, and who's good enough to remain at the club. And then we'll maybe see who needs to leave. And it's a big problem, because if this was Chelsea or Manchester City, I would have had faith in the board. Well, if that was my board, but obviously the board of Manchester United, they're just not good enough to pull this off. But I made a list basically of people that need to go. So my list is Jones, Rojo, Mata, Matic. Well, they need to go. Well, Mata and Matic, they're debatable. But Jones and Rojo, they definitely need to go. And then Lingard, I think we should sign him. I heard there's a new deal, and I heard he's going to be here next season, but I really think we should sell Lingard and take the money and use it to improve the team. And then Cavani. So Cavani's been injured like 3 times already, and he hasn't even been here all season yet. And I don't want him to go, but he is injury prone. The reason why nobody else wanted him, and why we took him on the last day. And the other thing is he's unsettled for some weird reason. I mean, his father came out saying he wants to go to Boca Juniors. So if he wants to go, he must go. And the last one should be I don't know. I put Eric and Lindelof's name here. The only reason I put it here is because they probably going to be here next season. But the only reason I put it here was because I think we need another centre back. It's critical that we get another centre back. So obviously, that I haven't said that. I'm gonna speak a bit about who, besides those names, who can who's good enough at the club to win the league, or even as a squad player. And I know people's been on his back, but I really think Martial needs to remain at the club. Even if he's a bench player, squad player, he's on. This season he's been horrible, but last season he scored like 22 goals, and we can't just. All he needs to like resolve his confidence and his relationship with Martial, and hopefully we can see Martial pushing on back on the score sheet again. He's he just needs to find the back of the fucking net. He just needs to find it. Um, sorry. He just needs to find the back of the net, and once he starts doing that, everything will click for him. He has his older play is great. He can run at people. He can go past people. Um, he he needs to work on his headering maybe if he wants to play in that striker position. But he just needs to. Oh, and he needs to be in the 6 yard box for the scrappy goals. Like I think Ollie's been a striker. Ollie really needs to work with him, and I think Martial still has a lot to offer the team. Obviously, Rashford, he's capable of being in the team that can win the league. Bruno Fernandes, I'm not even going to speak about Bruno. Greenwood's a great player, great young player, one of the best in England. Going to the midfield. Maybe Dan James can be a squad player, but he shouldn't even be mentioned. Who else is there? In the midfield, our midfield is poor. Obviously, Paul Pogba is a World Cup winner. Our midfield needs the most work out of the whole team. Luke Shaw, definitely. Wan-Bissaka, he's a maybe. He needs a lot of improvement to do, especially going forward. We've definitely seen improvement from him, but I don't know if he's a player that can win the league with the team, or like consistently play and win the league. I'm sure he can. And then Maguire, I'm sure Maguire can be part of a league winning side if he has the right partner next to him. And then obviously there's Henderson and De Gea. De Gea has experience. He's the only player in the team who's won the Premier League. So I think they should sell Henderson. There's too many complications with selling De Gea. He just signed a new contract. Sorry. So I think we need to sell Henderson. Maybe look for other number 2. And De Gea just needs to. The reason why Oli obviously brought him in was to put pressure on De Gea. But we should maybe sell Henderson, and I know a lot of people's not going to be happy with me saying that, but we should maybe sell Henderson and have a buyback clause maybe in 3 to 4 seasons. I think that will be the right time for Henderson to step in, and obviously De Gea will be coming to the end of his contract, and I really think that maybe we should send him on loan for. I'm sure he obviously wants to step into the first team, but there's just way too many complications with De Gea. Well, selling De Gea. It's going to be a big loss to the club financially, and obviously our owners won't want to do that. And I think De Gea still has a lot to offer. So even if it wasn't for financials, I would have still gone with De Gea. And then we've been linked with a couple of centre backs. Unfortunately, and I don't know how, we haven't been linked with number 8s or number 6s, which is not a good thing, because that is the area we need to strengthen. But we've been linked with a couple of centre backs, striker. I know we've been linked with a winger. I saw today. Unfortunately, can't get his name now. And then we've been linked now also with Lorente from Atletico Madrid. So if you're looking at our team, well, the word has been on the street or out in the media that we're looking for a striker, looking for a winger, and we're looking for a centre back. I don't think the winger is the biggest critical part of the team that's needed with the team. In the last season, definitely, because we were playing a 4-3-3, and the right wing was the biggest letdown, and we should have gotten Sancho. I'm not gonna go into it because yeah, we should have gotten Sancho. And the centre backs that we've been linked with has been Ben White from what's that club's name? What does he play for now again? Ben White plays for. He plays for Brighton. My bad. Ben White plays for Brighton, and he's a good technical player. I haven't watched him enough yet. Well, I mostly watch United. I don't really watch Brighton that much, but Ben White is good with the ball at his feet. He can deliver a ball. I don't know if he's exactly what Maguire needs. Maguire needs somebody that's pacey next to him. Like Maguire needs Eric Bailly that doesn't get injured. If Eric Bailly never got injured, we would never need another centre back. In my opinion, I think Eric Bailly is good enough. And especially if he had to play week in, week out, he would have gotten into a rhythm. They would have gotten an understanding. But he needs a technical footballer next to him, and he needs somebody who is pacey, like a Rio Ferdinand, obviously. Not that I'm saying that Maguire's Vidic, but he needs a Ferdinand type player next to him. Obviously, Maguire's expected to be Vidic if you look at his build, but I don't think he has the same attributes, and I don't think he doesn't have the same attributes, and I don't think he wants to be a Vidic type player. He's big and it's expected, but he's not. So we need somebody pacey next to him, and I'm not sure if Ben White is the fastest centre back in the world. Obviously, you guys can comment down below to let me know. I'll have to go do some research on that. But we've been linked with Kunde as well, and what was the other centre back? Konate. Kunde and Konate, I think they are. Just putting it out there, I'll take either one. But if you had to ask me to pick, I would pick Kunde. Not Kunde. I would pick Konate. And my reasons is that he's more physical than Kunde, and I don't know. Kunde is a quick player. He's obviously not the biggest, but obviously they're both strong. But Kunde he's just more commanding, and they're obviously both fast. And at least I can say that the club is looking at the fast centre back, because that's what Maguire needs next to him. And for me, it will be Konate, but if it's Kunde, I won't mind. I think Kunde. I think they're both really good, and they, just from what I've seen, I'll go with Konate instead of Kunde. But either one will do. And then obviously we've been this link to Haaland, like, it needs to stop, because Dortmund has slapped 100. What was it? It was like 180. I think it was 180 million on him, and that's ridiculous because our team needs so much more. We can't just go for the striker. We need to improve the rest of our team. so that we can provide the striker with service because our team just doesn't do it. I mean, I think Luke Shaw does it the most, but Daniel James should maybe step up in that department. I think I've said that before. And yeah, our team is just not right. To bring in somebody like Haaland, we need to fix the team, and then we can bring in someone like Haaland. And Lorente, it's weird that we'll be looking at somebody like Lorente. I don't know if he's a winger, but I know he's a attacking midfielder. And I think they want to. It's weird because I think that he maybe can play in the number 10 position. I don't know everything about him. I don't really watch La Liga, but I have watched some of him and I have seen him play on the right. So I'm thinking maybe that's why United's after him, to have somebody who can play on the right and deliver from the right. Because James is a good player, but like I said, I don't think he's a player that can win us the league or any major honours. I am very, very impressed by Daniel James. Don't get me wrong. I've spoken about him in previous videos. He understands the wing role, and I'm not saying he can't get there. You don't always need all the best players in the team to win the league. I mean, if you look at Mark Albrighton in that Leicester City team, not that they played against great teams, but he wasn't the greatest player. Or if you look at JC Park, you don't always have to have the greatest players in all positions. And I think Dan James is good enough if the team is good enough. But obviously our team isn't good enough, so I don't know. James, I'm on the fence about him. And if we're gonna get in a better right winger, let's just get in a better right winger. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was my first report on the week. There was no football, so this is the video, but hopefully I'm going to do this every week besides the post-match videos that I've been doing. And I've also been working on getting better, what's the word, better thumbnails for my videos. I've completely changed my thumbnail, and hopefully it will get more clicks and more likes and more subscribers, and hopefully from there we can grow this channel. But don't you forget to like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and let's take it from there. And just thanks for everything, and I'll speak to you next time. Peace.